Good morning, everybody, and today it's time to take a look at the DevOps Engineer Professional exam. So we're going to start off at the exam page. We're going to look at the actual exam itself. Like the other professional exam, like the Solutions Architect Professional, 180 minutes to complete the exam, 80 questions. So pretty packed, right? You have about 2 minutes per question, just a little more. And these could be long questions that ask you about very complex situations that you can find yourself in as a DevOps engineer. So let's see what AWS is expecting from a candidate. 2 years of experiencing provisioning, managing AWS environments. Now, I would say that these 2 years should be spent in a SysOps developer or DevOps role for this exam. You will get the most benefit if you had spent working on the actual deployments, working on building the solutions, building the CI/CD pipeline, etc. Experience developing code in at least one high-level programming languages. Now here, if you're coming from the SysOps track, this will be a limiting factor. If you're coming from developing, of course, you already had to have that as a prerequisite. So if you're a SysOps engineer going into DevOps, make sure to get basic understanding of a programming language, right? Choose a programming language that's not that difficult to learn, that's easy to adopt. If you've been running Bash scripts in Linux, maybe Python is a good choice because it's kind of similar. And I know I'm going to get a lot of blowback for that. So, whoa, that's just my opinion. That's how I personally feel about how scripting in Python is sort of feels similar to Bash scripting. When you get into like advanced Bash, when you're doing for in loops and things like that. Automated infrastructure. Again, this is about using automation tools, using the code pipeline tools, code build, code deploy, code commit, and how to automate everything. Looking at operating systems here. So Windows and Linux experience is definitely required, especially when we're talking about just that SysOps role going into going into DevOps, deploying applications on those operating systems, and just having the understanding of how you deploy prerequisites before you deploy the app. That's basically what they're going to be asking. And modern development and operations processes and methodologies. We're talking about DevOps, we're talking about CI/CD, how continuous integration includes less steps than continuous deployment. Less steps than continuous delivery, and how continuous deployment has even more automation than continuous delivery. Definitely something to understand. It validates whether you are comfortable with continuous delivery. It validates whether you can automate security controls, governance, and compliance. So here we're talking about templating, using OpsWorks templates, using CloudFormation, using Elastic Beanstalk also, right? Deploying and monitoring metrics, logging systems on AWS. If you're coming from the SysOps tier, this is something that should be in your daily tasks already. So that should be something you should be very familiar with. Highly available, highly scalable, self-healing applications on the AWS platform. Again, that's the basics. That's whether you're coming as a developer or a SysOps engineer or even a solutions architect associate, you should be able to understand that. And designing and maintaining tools to automate operational processes. Here again, systems managers, OpsWorks, CloudFormation, Elastic Beanstalk. And then the choices. If it's the least management possible, Elastic Beanstalk. If it's the most configurability and customizability, then out of the box, probably OpsWorks. If it's infrastructure as code, then CloudFormation, and the rest is covered by Systems Manager. That's as easy as it is. All right, again, like always, multiple choice, multiple response exams. Score of 750 is required to pass. And we got 6 domains, SDLC automation, configuration management, infrastructure as code, monitoring, logging, policies and standards, incidents and event response, high availability, fault tolerance, disaster recovery. All right, so SDLC, our software development lifecycle. Again, SDLC sometimes is just equated with the waterfall principle. That's not true, right? The software development lifecycle is just a lifecycle that you build into your software development process, as the SDLC term stands, right? And that can refer to CI/CD, that can refer to any kind of process, feature-driven development, etc. Doesn't matter. Source control strategies, how to implement source control strategies. So here we're looking at a lot of questions on on code commit and how code commit can trigger other services. Security in your code is going to be something that you're going to be looking at. As I like to say, DevSecOps to me doesn't exist, because DevOps without security, it just isn't DevOps. So I just like to use DevOps as a term and include security in it. Whoever thought of DevSecOps is now saying, oh yeah, the security team also needs to be part of the DevOps team. When were they not a part of the DevOps team? When was security not part of building our applications? When was that a best practice? Right? That was never a best practice. So to me, the S word doesn't fit into DevOps. DevOps is, working on security also. Automation and integration testing, code build, and of course, other testing tools. So look at, for example, AWS testing tools that code build sort of integrates with on the AWS blogs. That's a good way. And we'll cover this when we go into the how to study for the exam itself. What are we at now? Building and managing artifacts, security, right? What are your repositories going to be? Like where do you feed data from code build? Always remember that there are specific places where you can output the artifacts from code build. And of course, strategies, blue, green, canary, red, black, how to implement them with AWS services. Now, as far as red, black is concerned, this is a Netflix thing. I've never seen anything on the exam itself. I, as an instructor, don't teach red, black. It's not in the content, so I don't know why they're pulling this here. But you have to know that it exists, red, black, and check it out. Otherwise, AB, blue, green, are they similar or different? Canary, basically AB, but in production, on production with a new version. So it's very similar things. Configuration management, infrastructure as code, deploying services, right? Code deploy. Determine application and infrastructure deployment models. Containers, EC2 or Lambdas. A lot of questions are going to be whether you need to choose either of those services, right? So remember, this is not just about the automation. This is about understanding what kind of environment will be most suitable for your application. Choosing the right database type, DynamoDB or RDS, most of the questions. Some questions might include Redshift as like a passing mention. I don't think that you're going to need to cover that, but definitely EC2, containers, or Lambda. Security concepts in automation of resources. How to automate your security, right? How to use CloudFormations in layers, right? And add a layer that just deals with security. Implementing lifecycle hooks on deployment, right? So which services have lifecycle hooks, where you can implement them, and consider that there will be questions not just on SysOps, on OpsWorks, which is, consider that there won't be questions just on OpsWorks. There are going to be questions on autoscaling, because it also has lifecycle hooks. So anywhere where there's lifecycle hooks, you should be pretty much aware of it. Apply concepts to manage system using configuration management tools, CloudFormation, OpsWorks, Elastic Beanstalk, and Systems Manager. Definitely you need to be fully comfortable with those. Monitoring and logging, CloudWatch and CloudWatch logs, of course. Also CloudTrail, right? Just to understand who's using your system and how. Automate monitoring. So here, take a look at concepts where you feed responses from monitoring either into autoscaling or into Lambda functions to automate some kind of action. Look at events, look at event rules and how to make event rules perform some kind of action. Concepts required to audit log monitoring and operating systems. So we're talking about CloudTrail as logging and auditing your actual calls to the application, and then CloudWatch agent to feed logs out of operating systems and infrastructures into your CloudWatch service, and how to deal with those, how to deliver those then to cloud, to S3, etc. How to implement tagging and metadata strategies, right? That's self-explanatory. And then policies and standards automation, how to enforce standards, how to enforce that everybody uses logging, how to enforce that everybody feeds metrics and information into your platform, how to optimize cost through automation. So basically, this is going to be a lot about auto scaling, about right sizing for auto scaling, apply concepts to implement governance strategies. Again, cloud formation, the catalog maybe. Troubleshoot issues and determine how to restore operations. Same stuff that you've done in developing or sysops regarding troubleshooting. There shouldn't be any more advanced questions, maybe just more questions on the same thing. How to automate event management and alerting. Again, this is the same thing that before. Events out of your system, how to feed them, how to feed CloudTrail events to CloudWatch, and then how to automate with Lambda functions or other services, and implementing automated healing. So basically how to respond to those. And then concepts required to set up event-driven automated actions. This is all about Lambda functions. You're going to have questions on API gateway. You're going to have questions on all kinds of different things there. So let's take a look at the AWS services that you're going to need to know when you go for the DevOps exam. Analytics, basically the existence of these. You're not going to really need to know about intricate details, but you should know what Kinesis services do, what Athena and Redshift are used for. So maybe lake formation is a possible thing that you might see, but I doubt it. Most of these are very much by themselves in the analytics exam. We're going to talk about those in the analytics exam. Now, application integration, step functions. Yes, you have to know step functions for sure. MQ. Probably not MQ. There's probably not going to be questions on MQ itself. AppSync, I would say probably not. AppFlow, again, probably not. If anything, know what these services are, but not intricate details. SNS, SQS, yes, definitely. No SNS, no SQS. EventBridge, again, just maybe know what it is. No questions on Sumerian. Cost management, yes. Cost Explorer. Reserved instances, for sure. Spot instances also. Savings plans, not yet in the exam, probably, because it's kind of a new thing. Budgets, yes. Cost and usage reports, yes, definitely. Nothing on blockchain to be expected. None of these. Compute, EC2, of course. Batch, know that it's there, know how you can use it, but not intricate details like EC2. With EC2, you're going to need to know everything about auto scaling. You're going to need to know about load balancers and things like that. Elastic Beanstalk, yes, definitely. It's going to be a part of this exam. You are going to have questions on Elastic Beanstalk because it can be used as a great CI/CD tool when you need simplified management of your CI/CD environment. Serverless application repository, yes, definitely. Check that out. Outposts, no. VMware Cloud, no. Lightsail, I don't think so. This is really not a tool for enterprise. It's more like an end user kind of tool for deploying your, WordPress or whatever. Lambda, yes, intricate details. You have to be super comfortable with Lambda. Wavelength, no. Containers, yes. Everything about containers, for sure. Container registry, ECS, EKS, and Fargate. You probably, half of the questions about compute are going to be about containers. Because it just fits really well. Containers just fit so well into CI/CD that you just have to know this in detail. Customer engagement, no. Database services, Aurora, yes. Elasticache, possibly, right? This one, no. Redshift, just basically that it's a data warehouse. DynamoDB, yes, definitely. Even more than RDS and Aurora. DynamoDB is definitely in the scope. There will be questions about that. Sometimes there will be questions, either DynamoDB, Aurora, or MySQL. Key spaces, no. RDS, yes. Timestamp, timestream, no. DocumentDB, Neptune, VMware, no. None of these. None of these are important. All right. Okay, developer tools, definitely developer tools. Let's see. Corretto, no. Code build, yes. Code pipeline, those two in detail. Device farm, not really. Cloud development kit, possibly. Now, it is a newer thing than the exam, but possibly questions about CDK could have gone back into it. Yeah, it could fit. I'm not sure whether you will get questions, but just know what it is. Have a basic understanding of it. Code commit, yes. CodeStar, again, basic understanding that it's a graphical tool that lets you build CI/CD pipelines very, very simply. AWS tools and SDKs, yes, definitely. Understand that for sure. Cloud9, basic understanding, right? How to use Cloud9. Code deploy, definitely. AWS CLI, definitely. There might be questions with actual CLI inputs in there. X-ray, yes. How to analyze your network maps for your microservices, definitely. For your distributed tracing, for sure. Management and governance, CloudWatch, yes. CloudFormation in detail, no, not really, no. Yes, autoscaling. CloudTrail, yes. AWS config, basic understanding, I would say. License manager, no. OpsWorks, yes. Just as much detail as CloudFormation. Service catalog, yes, for sure. Well-architected tool, not really. Chatbot, no. CLI, we already said yes. No. Management console, you have to know how to use the management console. Organizations, not really. Systems manager, yes, definitely. As much as OpsWorks and CloudFormation. CloudFormation, OpsWorks, Systems Manager, and Elastic Beanstalk are your deployment services. Media, none of these. Migration transfer, not really. You shouldn't be bothering to learn about those. Mobile, API gateway, definitely. Because it's going to be part of the serverless solutions too. So definitely API gateway is an option here. The rest, I don't really think so. For networking, VPC, you got to understand how VPC works for sure as a DevOps engineer. Route 53, not really. I mean, basic understanding of DNS and how it points your applications. Cloud map, no. Transit gateway, no. API gateway, yes, definitely. Private link, not really. Direct connect, no need to understand that. Elastic load balancer, yes, for your highly available applications. CloudFront, yeah, it's good to understand CloudFront and know that you can deploy services like API gateway at CloudFront and then gain security because you can also implement DDoS and WAF firewall. App mesh, nah. Global accelerator, not really. Quantum, no. Robotics, no. Satellite, no. Security and identity, yes. IAM for sure. Guard duty, Could fall under security, so have a basic understanding of it. Artifact, basic understanding for compliance. Directory service, how to integrate with the directory service and federate with your own on-premises directory if you have to. Yeah, that should be a part. Access, no. Shield, yes. Basic understanding. Cognito, yes, for sure. Identity management for your applications, how to use Cognito to identify users in your applications, should be a part of the DevOps exam. Inspector, maybe for vulnerability scanning. Certificate manager, basic understanding that you can deploy SSL and TLS on your API gateway or on your CloudFront or on your load balancer. Firewall manager, not really. Secrets management, yes, secrets management should be a part of this learning stack that you're going to learn about. Single sign-on, no. Detective, no. Macy, no. Cloud HSM, not really. Key management service, yes. So as far as encryption, key management service, definitely understand it. And then HSM as a part of key management service, how it can be used as a backing store. Cloud security hub, no. And web application firewall, again, basic understanding. And then finally, storage, S3, for sure. You're going to have to understand that one for sure. FSX, not really. Backup, not really. Endure, disaster, no. EBS, yes. Snow family, not really. EFS, I would say yes. Keep an eye on EFS. Glacier, yes. And then storage gateway, probably not something you would require here. So that's it for this overview. And of course, in the next part of this DevOps thing, I'm going to look at tools where to find. I mean, I've already made a video and I'm going to put a link in below where to find your materials and how to study. And of course, that is it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.